To replace the HTxT4 two arms, the first thing we need to do is power off the chair, then unplug it. Next, we need to remove the pads by detaching the hook and loop fasteners. Then we'll use the backrest release lever to tip the backrest forward onto the seat. Next, we'll use a Phillips head screwdriver to remove the two screws that secure the arm cable to the power panel. Next, we'll use that same screwdriver to remove the four screws that secure the power panel to the chair. Once we remove those screws, we can detach the power panel from the chair, and then it's easier to actually remove those screws from the power panel. Make sure they don't fall into the backrest. We can free that cable from the cable guide as well. And then we need to reach inside the backrest to disconnect those arm cable connectors. There are 4 of them. Okay, then we can fish those connectors one by one through the hole in the power panel. Okay, next we need to remove the manicured trays. So we can tip up one of the arms and use a 5mm Allen wrench to remove the 3 screws that secure the tray to the arm. And then we'll do the same thing to remove the tray from the other arm. Next, we'll use a 6mm Allen wrench to remove the bolt that secures the arm to the chair frame. And then we can remove the arm. We'll just set that up on top of the backrest while we remove the other arm. And make sure those two plastic spacers remain in place on the mounting post. Okay, then we can remove both arms completely from the chair. To install the new arms then, we can place them on top of the backrest and then install one of them onto the mounting post, holding that collar in place there. We need to look into that hole on the back to make sure that the screw holes are aligned. You may need to slightly rotate the arm to fully align the holes. And once they're aligned, we can replace the bolt and tighten it using a 6mm Allen wrench. To test the arm installation, raise the arm slightly and let go, raise it again and let go, and so on. We're doing this to ensure that it does not fall down on its own. If it does not, then we know the installation was correct. And we can continue to the second arm. Again, making sure those spacers remain in place. We're going to insert that arm. The metal mounting post there slides over a hinge pin, and so it needs to be, it's kind of a tight connection. So if it's not aligned quite perfectly, you may get some resistance in sliding the arm in place. Simply continue to adjust the arm slightly, as you see him doing here, until it's properly aligned and can slide into place. Again, check visually to make sure the screw holes are aligned, and then replace that bolt to secure it. And we'll test that arm as well. Okay, now we're ready to reconnect the connectors. So we can first fish those connectors through the hole in the power panel one by one. And then once again, reach inside the backrest. This is a little tricky. And fish out each connector one by one and connect it to the corresponding cable connector. Matching them up by color, of course. Okay, once those connectors are all connected and secure, we can push them into the backrest and align the power panel holes with the corresponding holes on the backrest, and then replace those 4 screws to secure the power panel to the chair. Next, we can slide that arm cable plate into position, aligning the screw holes, and replace the 2 screws to secure that to the power panel. Okay, and we can raise up the armrests, and we will install the trays back onto the new arms. Again, aligning the screw holes and replacing the Allen screws using a 5mm Allen wrench. And we can do the same on the other arm. Okay, now we're ready to reinstall the pads. First, we can place the pad set into position on the seat and then attach the flaps on the rear using the hook and loop fasteners. Next, from the front, we can push the seat backward and then lower it into position and push down to attach it using the hook and loop fasteners. And finally, place the head pillow into position and attach it on the back of the chair using the hook and loop fasteners. Then we can plug the chair back in, power it on, and we're done.